Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell RKY, flanked by Sen. John Thune RSD, left, and Majority Whip John Cornyn R Texas, at the Capitol this month. J. Scott Applewhite ap Sen. Bob Corker R Tennessee, admonished President Trump on Tuesday to stop interfering in the debate over tax legislation and said his volatility could lead the United States into war, prompting a slew of Twitter insults from the president and renewing a long simmering feud just hours before he is scheduled to visit Capitol Hill. "I would just like him to leave it to the professionals for a while and see if we can do something that's constructive," Corker said on Good Morning America, referring to the debate over restructuring the tax code. "If you start taking things off the table before you get started, you make it very difficult." Trump returned fire by insulting Corker on Twitter, saying the retiring senator couldn't get elected dog catcher in Tennessee. It's sad that lightweight Senator Bob Corker, who couldn't get re-elected in the great state of Tennessee, will now fight tax cuts. Plus, the president tweeted, "The difficult relationship between Trump and Republican senators adds another layer of uncertainty." Trump has criticized Majority Leader Mitch McConnell RKY sharply for not repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. Republican senators have also thrown some rhetorical elbows at the president. In a round of interviews, Corker stood by his previous description of the White House as an adult daycare center and his comment that Trump's volatility could set the United States on a path to World War III. "I don't make comments I haven't thought about," the senator said on Good Morning America. The president continues to kneecap his diplomatic representative, the Secretary of State, and really move him away from successful diplomatic negotiations related to North Korea. "You're taking us on a path to combat," he said. Asked if he regrets supporting Trump, Corker told CNN he would not do it again. He's proven himself unable to rise to the occasion. He's obviously not going to rise to the occasion, he said. Trump's tweets in response mischaracterized Corker's Iran record in the back and forth surrounding Corker's decision to retire after 2018. Corker and his top aide have said that Trump offered his support for the senator's re-election, and that after Corker announced he would retire, Trump called asking him to reconsider and to run again. "Same untruths from an utterly untruthful president," Corker tweeted Tuesday. He added the hashtag alert the daycare staff, repeating an earlier description of Trump's White House. While GOP aides and senators predicted Monday that Trump's visit would center mostly on the ongoing effort to rewrite the nation's tax laws, the broad array of topics on their mind, coupled with the president's penchant for suddenly veering from one subject to another, could open the door to an unpredictable afternoon. The difficult relationship between Trump and Republican senators adds another layer of uncertainty. Trump has criticized Majority Leader Mitch McConnell RKY sharply for not repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. Republican senators have also thrown some rhetorical elbows at the president. "I want him to tell us to do our job," said Sen. David Perdue RGA, a Trump ally who, like the president, has openly voiced his frustration that a handful of Republican senators sank the repeal and replace effort. He anticipated the president would argue that the tax reform push is bigger than tax, in that it marked a chance for Republicans to prove they can govern, among other things. When Trump addresses the luncheon the Republican senators attend each Tuesday afternoon in a room near the Senate chamber, it's important for him to convey to us the things that he thinks are priorities, and not only with respect to the tax bill, but some of the other things that we are currently working on, said Sen. John Thune SD, the third-ranking Republican senator. "One of the other things Republicans are wrestling with is health care. Trump's decision to end federal subsidies to help offset lower-income Americans' coverage costs led a bipartisan coalition of senators to offer a compromise bill that would authorize those funds. In exchange, states would have broader leeway in regulating coverage under the ACA. Trump, who phoned Democratic and Republican lawmakers this month to push them to make a deal, has sent mixed signals on the plan, seeming to support it before backing away. White House officials are urging Senate Republicans to move the bill to the right by including provisions offering retroactive relief from the ACAS insurance mandates for individuals and certain employers, according to people briefed on the talks. "The White House has the ball right now," said Sen. Lamar Alexander Tennessee, the Republican senator who took the lead on negotiating the bipartisan package. "They've made some suggestions publicly about what they'd like to see in the bill. I'm for all of those things. The question is whether they can persuade Democratic senators to agree to that." But Alexander, who said that an analysis of his plan by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office could be released as early as Tuesday, wasn't expecting to hear Trump sketch out his latest thinking on the framework during lunch. In his view, that would be a good thing. He'd like for the president to focus on tax reform, he said. Others, however, were eager to hear Trump talk healthcare. I'd like to hear him reinforce the movement to get something done on healthcare, said Sen. Mike Rounds RSD, who supports the deal Alexander reached with Sen. Patty Murray-Wash. Looming over the luncheon are the mutual hostilities between Trump and Republican senators. On Twitter and in remarks before television cameras, Trump has slammed McConnell and singled out other senators for attacks. GOP senators have also landed their own blows. McConnell, for instance, has said that Trump's limited experience in politics created excessive expectations for passing landmark legislation. But lately, both sides appear to be determined to move past their differences and project more harmony. Trump and McConnell sat down for lunch at the White House last Monday and came out for a 40-minute joint news conference afterward. They tried to play down past signs of tension as they looked ahead to their next big legislative target, tax reform. Republicans are trying to forge ahead in their effort to usher in a sweeping rewrite of the nation's tax laws by the end of the year. They took an initial step toward passing a tax bill last week, when the Senate passed a budget resolution allowing them to pursue the tax plan without needing any Democratic votes. They didn't need any Democratic votes to undo the ACA. That effort still failed because of disagreements among Republican senators. Brewing disputes over tax policy threaten to disrupt if not defeat the tax endeavor in a similar way. Passing a bill could rest on more unpredictable GOP senators, like Susan Collins of Maine, one of 3 Republicans who voted against the ACA repeal bill in July. I'm hoping to hear more about his plans on tax reform, with more detail in it, she said of Trump.